Facebook. I just I just can't sit here by myself alone in my thoughts anymore right now because this shit is tripping me out. Like I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go out of my house today. And it's crazy because I've been reading all this stuff from like all different kinds of articles and everything. And one good point I saw, one somebody said, when news reporters and white people get killed on TV, they shut shit down, in respect for the family. And they do that too for black people, but that's after they've broadcast it for like, you feel me? Like, I can't even form a complete thought right now because it's just tripping out. How long is this? How long? I can't even ask how long it's gonna happen. It's what's it gonna take to actually make that kind of a change. You feel me? Like, so we know we let let's just do a brief history lesson. I just need to do a brief history. I'm more talking for myself, really. You guys about to see what's the thought, I guess. So we go back to 1619, right? Africans, brought over. And mind you, and don't even get me wrong, like the Muslim slave trade was bad as fuck too. But we're not talking. We're in America right now, so only focusing on. Right, so I don't want no deviation on that. But 1619, slave trade comes. 1886, Emancipation Proclamation, Civil War. Then you have the Jim Crow era, right? And the radical Democrats in the South. Mind you, so fun fact, a lot of people don't know this. The only reason African Americans switched over from being Republicans because Lincoln freed the slaves to Democrats is because of Ronald Reagan and Barry Goldwater in that election because they were against the Civil Rights Act. Fun fucking fact. Do your research, people. Then you had the Jim Crow era, right? And then, Civil Rights Act came in 1964, 1965. And supposedly since then we've had freedom and equal rights, right? But we've had all this crazy shit happen to us in between. So I'm like looking at that Facebook, like the articles and the shit that's popping up. I don't know. I can't exactly figure it out. But I know it's terrifying me, Whenever a police officer is walking towards me or saying something to me or, I see them, whatever, I know I don't do anything wrong. Like I'm a good person. I'm a college, I'm a grad student. Like, but still, I get that fear because it's like you never know what's gonna pop off if you're coming off as disrespectful. Because it's all subjective. Like it's all how they feel, how they approach you. And I'm sure, most of these people, when the uniform's not on and they're not in their authoritarian, mode, and they don't have to be the authority, the law, the enforcement, great people, upstanding people. But when they put on this uniform, and and it's a group mentality thing, and it's crazy because I've been watching, Orange Is the New Black, and it's a great show, by the way. And in this fourth season, MCC, the what the hell is it called? The Criminal Correction Facility Management place. They hired Army vets and military vets to be the new POs, for the show or for the prison. And we're finding out that they're all trippy and they all have, their crazy whatever the fucks and they're nuts, doing different things to the different inmates, their PTSDs and their different, mindsets, mentalities, whatever. But that shit is real in the, for real, like, come on. When you do that, so I'm saying, they're great people outside of the uniform. But when they put on that uniform, there has to be some sort of accountability, because they have that brotherhood, that bond, that mentality. It's the same thing when you go to the military. It's the same thing that black people feel together. It's the same thing that white people feel. It's whatever kind of bond, whatever kind of glue that holds you down, like that's what it is. You know what I mean? And they have that in the police force. They're a unit. So of course they take care of their own, but there has to be some sort of accountability. Yeah, it's a great idea to have, dash cams, body cams, but there has to be some sort of something with the trigger, like, I mean, it's crazy 'cause I watch a bunch of, like, different kinds of shows. And one of these shows, I watch anime too. And one of these animes is crazy because it's like in the future it's called Psychopaths. And in the police force, the guns it's registered and it senses your mentality rate, your mind, your body, your pulse, everything. And if you're freaking out, if you don't know what's going on, if you cannot pull that trigger. And like that, I feel like that's really what it's gonna have to eventually come down to. Like, that's for real. Like, how else are we gonna stop this crazy mentality that police have that, this black person is going to attack me, he's going to do so, like, it's demonizing, it's degrading almost, but not almost, it is fucking degrading. Like, I'm trying to see, I'm still trying to be polite, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't like the police, like, fuck the police, like, and I'm still trying to, dance across this fucking thing, because that's how we have to be in America now, you know what I'm saying? Until my face gets around on the internet, this shit pop off, my face get around the internet, and now white people are saying shit to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, and this is crazy that this is the kind of America that we have to live in. This is not what it was like when I was a little kid, you know what I mean? Like, I was born in San Diego, I was born in Chula Vista, I lived all the way south, and my freaking mom's best friends are Japanese, Filipino, and Mexican. And white, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, her block didn't see race, her block didn't see that kind of stuff. And it's nuts that now you can't look on the internet. And by the way, when did the internet stop being about, like, kitties, like cats, and, like, porn, and just, like, regular shit? And when did that shift happen where people decided that it's okay to suddenly pop off and it's all good? Like, I've seen some of the most degrading, disgusting, like, comments and commentary, and it's like, bet money you would not say that in real life. If you were there at that tragedy, if you were there on the scene of that, those ill comments would not be coming out of your mouth. But because you're behind this wall of the internet, I guess the advent of social media caused that. But even still, no, because before, like, social media was about, reaching, but now it's about, like, just saying whatever weird, mean, derogatory thing comes out of your mouth, and that's dividing us, because the police are, don't give me, like, like, real rap, when there's something that's not like this going on, the police are okay people, you know what I mean? Like, excuse me, you know what I mean? Like, your shit gets stolen, you call the police, they come, they file the report, you get your insurance company. Like, the police are trying to do their job. But for some reason, and it's crazy because it's all over the country. Now, I understand in high urbanized, areas where the crime rate is higher, but in the middle of Minnesota, like statistically speaking, ain't no gangsters in Minnesota. Like, this man worked for a public school. So again, I go back to the question, I guess. Sorry, I go off on tangents. Again, this is my thoughts, just trying to wrap my... What is it gonna take to get some kind of accountability on the trigger? Like, and I studied criminology, and that's the question I have. That's the question for the thought box. Like, what kind of reform is it gonna take? Is it gonna take a brand new, setting a new standard and going through the police academy, rewriting the manual, getting rid of some of these older policies that they have, like stop and frisk, the basic racial stereotypy that, only blacks and Hispanics are drug dealers and blah, 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 when it's statistically proven that white people do everything at the same clip You know what I mean? They're just stopped less. So what, do you check white people more or stop checking blacks and Latinos less? You know what I mean? What about the Asian contingency? Nobody, no, there's hardly any crime. And don't get me wrong, Asians really don't do a lot of crime, like, but still, you know what I mean? Well, no, they don't. Actually, that's wrong too because they got the Yakuza, they got a bunch. But anyways, but again, still, what about the Asian contingency? Where's the police enforcement on that? The Russians, like, come on, like, and I'm tired of it only just in the fucking. It's everything, everything. Well, but that's what I'm saying. What's gonna take to reform? What? I don't know. I have to get in the shower for work. I don't. If you see this and you have an answer for me, please just let me know, because this shit is weighing heavier on my brain today. I guess final thought too is that, because it's like, I guess my final thought is the original thought. For over 2 years now, we've been seeing case after case. Michael Brown, Ferguson, Tamir Rice, Trayvon Martin Trayvon Martin, Eric Gardner, Alton Sterling, Philando. I don't want to get their names wrong either, but you get my drift now. You know what I mean? Like, how many times am I gonna have to watch police demonize and shoot black people on Facebook and on the internet and on television before some kind of change happens? It's been years already. My eyes. It's been years already, and it's still going. You know what I mean? And that's my final thought.